If you plan to sell your house this year, but spring came and went, and now it's August already, you may be thinking, did I miss the market? The short answer is no. But if you try to sell your home in August using the same strategy that might have worked in earlier spring or May or April, you could leave a lot of money on the table or spend the fall watching your listing sit. We don't want that. I recently worked with Chad and Susanna. They had already purchased their next place and they did not want to own two homes. You know, who does? So that created a real pressure situation, but we didn't allow that to dictate the overall strategy. We prepared their house, positioned it properly, which is important, and then launched it with a clear plan. What was the result? Their home sold in 5 days for $5,000 over asking price. And that result wasn't luck, and it wasn't because every home automatically sells quickly. It came from making the right decisions before the property ever hit the market. After more than 25 years of helping West Michigan home sellers sell through changing markets, whatever kind of market it is, I've learned this. August is not necessarily too late, but the selling window is getting a little bit smaller. Buyers are more selective and you have less room for error. So before you rush your home into the market or assume that you should wait until spring, there are 4 decisions that you need to make. Together they create what I call the 4-part August selling strategy. We use it every year. The first decision is condition. You don't need to remodel your entire house before selling it. In fact, spending months and tens of thousands of dollars improving things that buyers may not even value could cause you to miss the opportunity you're actually trying to capture. But that doesn't mean that condition is irrelevant. Today's buyers do notice unfinished projects, deferred maintenance, and dated presentation, and everything that creates uncertainty about the true cost of owning a home. The objective then is to identify the improvements that materially affect buyer confidence. That might include fresh paint, flooring, landscaping, professional cleaning, minor repairs, or completing a project that makes the house feel unfinished. You know what that is. The right question isn't, how do we make this house completely perfect? The right question is, which improvements will strengthen the sale and which ones will merely consume time and money? Avoid those. That distinction matters. The second decision is positioning. Not every home appeals to the same buyer. A move-in ready home near excellent schools should definitely be positioned differently than a lakefront property, an acreage home, a downtown condo, or a house designed for multi-generational living. Before we market a home, we need to know who is the most likely to want it, and that buyer, what they value. And this property deserves their attention, of course. That determines the photography, the video, the written description, the advertising, and the story that we tell about the home. You're not simply selling bedrooms, bathrooms, and square footage. You're showing the right buyer what life could look like if they owned this property. The third decision is pricing. This is where sellers can get themselves into a lot of trouble. Your home's value isn't determined by what a neighbor received 2 years ago or what you spent on all the improvements or the amount that you need to walk away with. I see this all the time. Those things may matter to you, but they don't establish market value. The correct price must reflect the home's current condition, recent comparable sales, competing listings, buyer demand, and your desired timeline. Price too low without a strategy, and you may sacrifice money, unnecessarily, of course. And price too high, and the strongest buyers may pass over the property during the most important days on the listing. Then after several weeks, you may be forced to reduce the price while the buyers begin wondering what is wrong with the house. The goal isn't to choose the highest number we can justify. The goal is to choose the price most likely to produce the strongest overall result. The fourth decision is the launch. Your home doesn't get a second opportunity to become a new listing. You got one shot. The photography, the video, marketing, the copy, showing readiness, launch timing, and exposure all need to work together from day one. If the listing appears online before the house is ready, the photography is weak, or the pricing and presentation send conflicting signals, you can lose momentum before you even realize it. A strong launch creates concentrated attention, and concentrated attention gives you the best opportunity to generate showings and urgency and competing interest, competition while your listing is still fresh. This is precisely why Chad and Susanna's result matters. They needed to sell because they had already purchased another home. You may be in the same boat, but we didn't confuse urgency with rushing. We never do that. We made the important decisions first, executed the plan, and then launched the property. 5 days later, their home was sold for $5,000 over asking price. Now, does that mean that every home listed in August will sell for $5,000 over or in 5 days? Probably not. No responsible real estate professional should promise that. The outcome depends on the property, its condition, its location, the price range, of course, the competition, and the market surrounding it. But it does prove something really important. You can have a real timing constraint and still produce a strong result when the strategy is right. Should you sell your house now or wait until spring? Selling now may make sense if the property is prepared quickly, your pricing expectations align with the current market, and moving this year supports the next step in your life. Waiting may be the better decision if your home needs substantial work, your timing is flexible, or selling now would actually force you to make a rush decision that actually weakens your position. You don't want to do that. But you do not automatically wait simply because the calendar says August. There may be fewer weeks remaining in the year, but serious buyers don't disappear when summer ends. People still relocate, families still change, jobs still transfer, homes still sell. The real question isn't whether August is too late. The real question is whether your property, pricing, and launch strategy are strong enough for the market that you're entering now. If you're considering selling your West Michigan home before the end of 2026, click the link below and request an August seller strategy consultation with my team. We'll evaluate your property, your timing, and the current competition and give you a very clear recommendation on whether you should actually move now or wait until next year. Before you decide that you missed the market, let's look at the facts and determine the strategy that most likely will produce the strongest results for you.